Thanks for joining us tonight for a Dreamtime Transmission. Hopefully, these dreams help you drift into sleep easily. I would greatly appreciate it if you liked and subscribed before you drift off. New videos are released every night, so join us tomorrow if you like. Thank you, and good night. From Seagull Artist. The title says it all, my friends. Last night, I indulged in a large bean burrito before going to sleep. I was teleported into a grassy field with 3 friends who I had never met and one who I knew. As we sat down in a circle on the grass, I started to feel my stomach rumble. I consciously put in effort to hold in my farts, but a funny comment from a friend made me laugh and release. Horror turned into comedic relief as my imaginary dream friend looks at me, chuckles, and lets out a fart herself. The whole gang then erupts with laughter and I wake up. Have a great day, Reddit. From Booty Champer. So last night I had a dream where there was a really long bridge between Australia and United States, and I was on the bridge. Then I meet someone who was Australian guy around my age, named Connor, on the bridge, and fell in love. For an unknown amount of time, I remember we started a family with 5 kids, 4 boys and 1 baby girl. This dream is weird because I never been to Australia before, and I felt like I moved on from a recent breakup as well. Sorry for the ramble. I'm not sure what the dream means or if it does mean anything.
From Cherry Spice 005. This dream was more of a nightmare. When I was little, maybe 8 or 9, I had a very abstract dream that I can only describe as depicting the size difference between something very small and something very large, like a marble next to a skyscraper. I woke up screaming, inconsolably crying. My single dad called his mom to try to talk to me because he didn't know how to help. To this day, that depiction of perspective scale makes me a little uncomfortable, but I have no understanding of it.
From Hefty Finance 2850, M22. I'm just curious if there's any Christian or non-Christians on here that have similar demonic dreams, like physically fighting demons, or not being able to say the name of Jesus in dreams, and during that just feeling like you're frozen in place and can't move, similar to sleep paralysis. For me, I'm never scared in my nightmarish dreams, because I already know for sure that I have God on my side. But the demonic pushback is crazy, like I've been stabbed repeatedly in a pitch black room before. Lol, I've had similar dreams like this for a min now, but I actually found out how to make the demons be the one to freeze in place, instead of me. Now my dreams feel a lot longer than normal, and I learn so much about myself, literally every night. As a child of God, we are more powerful than we think. Any other Christians or non-Christians have any similar types of dreams?
From Prestigious Phone 42IV. Had this dream in the past about 3 or 4 times. Starts off with a storm approaching in the mountains to start, and it's dark and blue and purple. It's getting dark in town, and this time I was in a house, but usually I'm in the middle of town. Since I knew what was to come, I blockaded the windows and had a view of the storm. Looking through the window, it was hard to see because of the trees, but I still saw the giant blue bolts of lightning. Usually it's so crazy with the sounds and storm that you're running for your life because of the being in the storm forming. The fear strikes hard, and you don't have a choice, even though you know you're dreaming. I was screaming at people to get inside, and the best thing to do is run. Run from the storm because the being will just scar you. It's nothing ugly, but the deals are there full emotion. It was a lot easier to deal with, probably because I was in a house, old one from Jai school, from what it looked like. But usually I don't make it. I think it's saying that I know what to expect and that I got a grasp on the chaos. Dream book saying it's a sign for change and deleting ignorance. Good things are to come after the storm. I don't think I'll have this dream again. I think that because I didn't die or end up defeated. This can be a very good sign for real life because it's been rough. Can also mean my meds are messing with me because 2 nights in a row I dream of scary. Last night was the first for a scary being lady. Anyways, I made the storm, the colors were fantastic, and the people I don't think I knew. Maybe one day I'll draw and paint my dreams. Because the full detail from sound to color to emotion, all there, like vivid. At the top it's like this, but lighting cloud and strom, and as big as the mountains. Anyways, Thanks for listening.
From Medic, I had a dream that wasn't necessarily scary, but it woke me up in a cold sweat at 1 a.m., questioning everything. In my dream, I'm riding in the car with my BF, and we pass by my grandmother, who's walking through a gas station parking lot. We pull up to talk to her, and she says, "If you've got somewhere to go, you better get to getting," in a very serious tone, and continues on her way. Mind you, even though this is a dream, I know she is passed away, and I'm just so happy to see her, and I tell her I love her and blow a kiss at her, something we always did. She mouths, "I love you too," and sends me a kiss back, still having an expression like she was about to go handle serious business. It skips to me and my BF driving down the road, and it's pitch black. You could see a little pink and blue sky miles away, peaking being some mountains. As we're driving, we see 2 barn owls fly past our car, and I remember thinking, what does this mean? That's all I remember before waking up super emotional and sketched out. I know owls are a bad omen in most scenarios, but this wasn't a bad feeling. It almost made me happy to see them. And this is the first dream I've had with my grandma in it, and every detail of her was spot on, from her gray and silver hair in a low ponytail to her yellow shirt she always wore. And her face was so detailed, it's like I was seeing her in person, her fine lines from aging and her freckles. I know brains are crazy and it was probably just a vivid dream, but I like to think I got to actually speak to her and it was her visiting me.
From my KZ BF, I recently switched my ADHD medication from Vyvanse to Adderall a few days ago, and my dreams have skyrocketed. I've been able to recall previous dreams in my dreams. I met someone in my first dream. Not too much happened. We had a plan to do something, but I woke up before it happened. And in my second dream, they showed up again. They were happy, joyful, eager to be around me, just like the previous dream. I instantly knew who they were and told them I just had a dream about them, and they were the girl from my dreams. Her and I were best friends. This is the first time dream recall has happened. Anyone else experience this?
From R5 Cats, as usual with me, this is just a fragment of a longer series of dreams. I was shopping in a grocery store, I think with a friend. I needed decaffeinated coffee, which was on sale there. I got to those shelves, and of course they were bare. I continued shopping, and lo, there it was, a green tin of the coffee I wanted, sitting among some glassware. Funny thing, I do need that in real life.
From Rabbit Hole 980, I think my ex trapped me in my second dream. For context, I have between 2 to 4 dreams a night. First, second, and third person jumping into the body of the first person randomly. But last night I got trapped because I thought I woke up, noticed I was still asleep. Wandered around, found their ass, then was told they're there every 18 months. I need to don't eat the sky. I'm not sure how to feel. I've never been forced to look for anyone to get the fuck out of a dream. Not sure how to feel. Just wanted to vent.
From Punk and the Junk. For some quick context, about 3 years ago, my family had to give up my white dog Snowball due to her getting into a fight with our other dog. I had moved around this time and never got to voice taking her in, and I never got to say goodbye. Since then, I have had dreams about Snowball every now and then. I've probably dreamed about her about 4 to 5 times now since then, but for some reason, whenever she's in my dreams, she's always as a puppy. Last night I saw her in my dreams. I was at my grandparents' house. I used to live with them. And my room looked oddly like a room in the attic, despite being on the 2nd floor. The room was pretty vacant, just having wooden floors and an empty, neat bed. I walked into the room, and to my left there was a small dog cage, and there was Snowball as a puppy with what looked like wet rags. I think she had peed on the rags and floor, so I picked her up and cleaned up the mess. I don't remember what happened in between, but I walked into the room again and saw her in the same place, but this time she was playing with a few balls. I picked her up again with the ball, took her into the next room, and held and played with her. This is really most of what I recalled in the dream, but waking up made me miss her. I've been trying to figure out what the dreams meant for a while, specifically why she comes to me as a puppy. Has she been visiting me?
From Fully Automated Poo. Sometimes I have dreams like, oh no, my heart stopped, I can't feel it beating. I need to get it to beat again or I'll die. Only have a few seconds. Removes heart from chest and tries to inspect it, looking for the issue. Wait, this heart looks perfectly normal. Why is it not beating? Quick start again. Slaps heart with back of the hand to try to get it going. Oh no, I'm losing consciousness. Everything is getting dark. No, I don't want to die. Several seconds later, I'm still conscious. Is this the afterlife? Where am I? Why can't I move my body? Oh, sleep paralysis, that's it. It was a dream. Well, gotta go back to sleep. Wait, no, I'm still technically asleep. Beep, 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 shut up! Damn, my sleep paralysis demon is so noisy. Oh wait, that's the alarm clock. Damn, then it's better to wake up completely now or I'll be late. Note, this is a repost of a comment I made on another sub, but I think it's appropriate here.
From Eman86. Need help with dream interpretation. I had a dream about an ex from 5 years ago. I never speak to her or connect or think about her or have her social media. Nada. She's much older than me. However, I have gone through a breakup 2 months ago with a girl much younger than me. I never dream about her ever. In the dream, the older ex from 5 years ago hired some professional company to find me. At the same time, she was stalking me. I caught the guy she hired while I was sleeping, putting some essential oil or something on my head while I was all asleep. I woke up, and he broke the news to me red-handed as he was caught that she hired him. I told him I want nothing to do with her. He was a nice guy. I explained she was crazy for doing this. He went on his way. When I left my building, I walked right by her. It's like she was stalking, waiting outside for me to cross her path, as it was right outside the building I was staying in. I didn't say anything to her and kept walking, but then I got suspicious of this person putting oils of me in my sleep. It felt weird, like what was she trying to get him to do to me while I was sleeping? So I went to her house to talk to her daughter and asked her what the hell her mom was trying to do to me. That I could have killed the man she hired, thinking he was a thief or something. Why did he wrap a piece of tape around my head while I was asleep and drop some scented oil on me? Anyways, the old ex walked into the house at that time and the dream ended. What in the world? Why dream about her? Shouldn't I be dreaming of the current young ex? Why am I not dreaming of the young current ex at all? Any dream interpretations would be great. Thank you all.
From Saki-chan YT. I was dreaming where I was just sitting at home watching a movie. There I saw Tom Holland as Nathan Drake, talking to Alina Fisher. Not sure who the actor was. After that is like I skipped to a scene where Nate is fighting on a train. Bad guys, those in black, jumping around tanks and stuff, and the train going through tunnels. And after that, I was woken up. Is it possible I just vibed the future?
From Imagination Creepy 639. This dream I had wasn't like any other one. I was so confused the whole time, and the worst part is I couldn't wake up. In my dream, I was going to my friend's birthday party, but while I was there, I realized everyone looked way younger than they're supposed to. Now, of course, there was a bunch of stuff that didn't make sense, but it's a dream, so I just rolled with it. But then I realized all of the parents and adults were also younger, and this was really freaking me out. So I went back to look at my friends one more time. I would make jokes, they would all just stare. It was really creepy and weird. Then I went on my phone in the dream looking through old photos, and that's when I saw all of the pictures for them from when they were 8, and JT matched perfectly. So then I tried to run, but all the parents and kids started to chase me. Then I saw a field, seeing that as my only exit, Kay ran, but these fences would pop up and stop me from getting past until I finally did get past one. But then while I was running on this weird bumpy ground, a vault surrounded me and told me this was my room and I will become one. It felt like a nightmare, but I was able to control so many things. From Loof Strain. So I usually GTS to horror YT vids because I find comfort in them, but today was different. I had a dream. I was in a poor Chinese area with PPL, aka from my IRL. As classmates and a clown with balloons would always appear, but only to few PL, and I was always seeing it around my family a lot and looking at me. And then this weird girl pops up every now and then and disappears. And it wasn't scary, but then I started explaining it to everyone. But they weren't listening. They kept talking about random stuff as if to warn me to stop talking. Then, out of nowhere, a doll that was at least 7 feet popped up, killing someone. And after I felt a presence behind me in my dream, the girl staring at me from a dark corner. I felt her presence in the real life too, as if someone was watching me sleep, and I woke up breathing hard and afraid to get up. Insane dream.
From Sea Beach 423. Back in April of 2021, I had a dream. My friend and I was in some sort of video game shop with a bunch of plushies and other stuff, when all of a sudden the clerk pulled out a pistol and shot him dead. I woke up immediately. Well, I messaged him a week later and told him about my dream. He asked me who shot him, and I told him it was some random person. We laughed it off and thought nothing of it. I mean, it's just a dream, right? Well, on May 1st, a couple weeks later, my friend actually did die. It was from a drug overdose. What would anyone call this? A premonition? Coincidence? It's really been bothering me lately. His birthday is Christmas Eve. R.I.P. Brente. You will never be forgotten.
From Safe Breadfruit 75 1 fee. I had a dream last night that I was on the Lost Island, and I was talking to this lady about past lives, and she told me that after you pass, you go to a blue dimension and a yellow dimension. She had names for each of them that I forget, but it was so weird, lol. They were long words in another language. I have such vivid, surreal dreams. Thoughts? I'm really intrigued by this.
From Minty Honey. So I had a weird dream that was about my favorite band. In this dream, I came across a house where my favorite band's members apparently all lived together. I watched as they basically executed the singer while he was excitedly talking about how he wants to feel the new song. My brain decided to make this even more confusing by deciding that the new song was an already existing song of theirs.
From VJS116. My ex basically cheated on me about a month ago, and I've been taking it pretty hard. Right now I'm at a place where all I can think about is the things I could have done to be better. Anyways, I had a dream last night that she was on FaceTime with me, and I was asking her questions that I've had for a while, such as, what could I have done better? Or, why was this guy better than me? And don't remember her exact answers, but she basically was rubbing it in my face that this guy was better than me and I was inferior to him in every way. It made me feel so horrible. I've also had a similar dream like this a few weeks ago. Any idea what this could mean?
From Intelligent Ad 3284. Had a dream I was base jumping with a group. Immediately I convinced myself the parachute was going to fail, and it did. Had a spare. My dad, who wasn't my dad, was trying to help. Didn't work, but it felt really lethargic. I crashed with no pain and was instantly in another dream. It wasn't scary, but just thought about sharing it. From Previous Metal 654, the past few months, I've had these reoccurring dreams where I'm placed into these extremely creepy houses/locations. Some of them I had to go fight Pennywise from IT, but never actually saw him in the dream. The main thing I wanted to talk about, though, was my dream last night to see if anyone knows if it could mean or resemble anything at all. It started off as me being with some friends from my past at this lake house. The lake water was apparently poisonous, but my friends were still going into the water. These guys approached us telling them that they can't be doing that, and we went back to the lake house with them. At this point, all my other friends weren't in the dream anymore, and I was now with this girl who isn't a part of my actual life. It was me, her, and 2 of these guys. The one guy that I fully remember had a knife/cutting fetish. I don't remember all of what exactly he was making us do, but I do remember he sat behind us while we stood up, and he had made small cuts on the back of our knees. After that is when it got worse. It was just me and him, and he had made cuts all over my body, covering mainly my arms and legs, but also on my stomach and more on the back of my knees. I ended up escaping and going back to my friends and family, but as all the cuts were healing on my arms, every time that I'd move them, the cuts would reopen, and I'd start bawling my eyes out. I kept crying just from looking at them all as well. The rest of the dream was just me trying to cope with what had happened.
From Isaiah 5K. So I just had a short dream where I was waiting for a bus in an empty and very dark road. Like you literally can't see anything. Then all of a sudden, I hear heavy footsteps, and before I can react, Guy grabs me and lifts me while laughing or chuckling, but couldn't see his face. I woke up at that moment with my heart beating so hard I felt like it will come out of my chest and a strong urge to scream. It took me a second to realize I am actually in my room, LMAO.
From Adventurist Ask 6584. Hi all. I had a weird dream last night. I'm having a lot of trouble making sense of. I was a surrogate for my cousin and her husband, and after the baby was born, he said to me, "Now like a cow you'll go to slaughter." I remember overhearing a conversation between my cousin and my aunt, where my aunt was basically telling her to say thank you to me for giving them a child, and she was refusing. This is where it starts to get really weird. I went out to dinner with my partner, and on our way there we found a puppy. I became really attached to the puppy, and held it like a baby the entire time. As we were waiting in line for a table, someone said to me, "Why do I get the feeling that that's not your friend?" We were seated outside, in a courtyard where I actually had a dream a couple nights prior. I recognized it, and remembered there was a bathroom over by the park a short walk away. I excused myself and walked over towards the park, carrying my puppy like a baby. There were some kids at the park playing, and when I looked down, the puppy was now a full-blown child, about a year and a half old, and trying to get down to play with the kids. We got lost trying to find the bathroom, but we finally found it. When we got in there, something wasn't right. It wasn't like how I remembered it from my last dream. The building felt bigger, more dilapidated. I heard a crying baby upstairs and immediately had the urge to run up and see what was going on, but I was also frozen in place. I said hello, and the crying intensified, then immediately stopped, followed by this grotesque squelching noise. I ran out with the child, who was fighting to get out of my arms. I eventually let them go and kept running to the courtyard, where the whole place looked to be abandoned. I felt like I was in the Upside Down in Stranger Things, weird noises all around. And then I woke up. When I woke up, I was super freaked out, still kind of am, and none of this makes any sense to me. It all felt so vivid. Anybody have any ideas?
From Rose Wexter Tears. Something I've noticed the Peace Tea Week is that I, F-22, have been having a lot of dreams about war. Earlier in the week, I noticed they always had the screaming sounds of what I can assume are missiles flying through the sky, and people just telling me, "It's those damn fireworks again." I never heard pops. I never heard where they landed. And that sounds would persist through the dream while I would do normal things with my husband or family members. But today, this morning, I woke up from a really weird one. I'm with my husband and my younger sister at my job for some reason. We're there with my students and some other teachers I work with. The sounds start. I say, "It's those damn fireworks again. I can't believe people are doing that for the 6th day in a row." After I say that, I look to my husband who, in a quiet voice, mumbles, "It's Soliders doing that." Then, my boss shows up, and she's in a panic. She rushes out of her office and announces that some truck full of people are coming to the school in like 5 minutes, and we all needed to hide. A rush of children screaming and teachers trying to hide them quickly throughout our small school begins. I managed to hide my sister in the bathroom under a mountain of blankets near the washer to make it look like a pile of unattended dirty clothes, and run to hide in a closet in a bathroom while my husband finds some crawl space to cram into. All the lights go out, blinds go down, and then the truck pulls up and our door gets broken down as chaos begins. We 3 survive along with a few students. We're all shaken as we try to figure out Zhao. Many of us are left. I look at my husband and then my sister, and my husband tells me, "You've got to leave now. I'll get you guys out of here." And then I wake up, just to find my husband asleep next to me after a long night shift on base.
From Opposite Fix 8289. In the last 5 years, I can honestly say I haven't hardly had any dreams that I can remember in the morning. In the course of the 5 years, there may have been a handful of times I've actually had a dream. It's mostly just black until I wake up. In the last 6 months, that's completely changed. I have had very vivid dreams of someone grabbing me, being put somewhere small and tight, being hung upside down, animals not acting right, or people being hurt. Now, I normally wouldn't think about this enough to consider ever posting on Reddit about it, but this morning my wife described a dream she had to me that I swear I've had before, and then she brought up how our daughter has had dreams of a similar nature. Thinking about it, in the last 6 months, all of us have been talking about our dreams. There's 4 of us, myself, wife, son, and daughter, who are all feeling strange about our dreams all of the sudden. We are Catholic and live in a house of faith. We all co-sleep. Wife is pregnant. I think those are the only things I can think that play into this. Can anyone explain or relate to this?
Hopefully, you aren't hearing this message because you are asleep, but if you are still awake, I would like to thank you for joining us for tonight's Dreamtime Transmission.